Assalamu alaikum. My name is Nicolette Hodge. I am an injured warrior representing and standing with Master Solomon, the breaker of the seven seals and the messenger of the covenant. Brothers and sisters, welcome. The Holocaust, our complete experience being here, tormented, brutalized, dehumanized, tortured for nearly 500 years. From the moment we were conception to the day we died, we lived in complete fear. We were complete pain all the time. Rape, sodomization. It has nothing to do with slavery, brothers and sisters. Slavery is when you work somebody without paying them. That does not include raping them, eating their flesh, taking our babies, putting them in cage, feeding them to alligators, sodomizing our men, taking their manhood and their dignity. That does not include breaking, buck breaking. It does not include dehumanizing. It does not include burning us at the stake while having parties and celebrations. It does not include barbecuing our bodies, soaking us in salt and broth, and eating us as if we were an exquisite meal. It does not include forcing us to eat shit, feeding us the colon of the pig, and defecating in our mouths as a form of punishment, and then putting muzzles over our mouth so that we cannot spit this defecation out. It does not include cutting up on our bodies, tinkering with our organs, sewing us up with barbed wire, doing C-sections with rusty metals and dirty shit fingernails, and digging in our wombs and leaving us open to rot and die. No anesthesia. It does not include experimenting on us. It does not include bestiality, because they called us beast. And if you're procreating with a beast, that means you're participating in bestiality. So they went completely against everything that they were supposed to be doing. And brothers and sisters, what they don't realize is they made us so hard. They toughened us up so much that they created a diamond right before them. And they don't understand it. They don't understand how they put us through this Holocaust. Yet we are emerging stronger than ever before. We have the strongest children on the planet. Okay? And stop letting them call it a critical race theory. Stop letting them call it slavery. This is not slavery. And what you need to understand is that slavery is not illegal. So slavery is still going on right now. We went from agricultural slavery to industrial slavery. So you run around thinking you're free, thinking you're paying for stuff. For one, you're not even getting paid what you work for. And then for two, the amount of energy you putting back into the job is nothing compared to what you need to sustain yourself. So we are being robbed. Okay? And then the third thing is, this house and this car you have, that doesn't belong to you. That's only yours. That's only been handed to you so that you can get back and forth on the plantation. Because the minute you stop showing up on the plantation, that house and car is confiscated. So understand that the food they gave us, what you call soul food, is nothing but slave food. This shitlings that you're eating is what we were forced to eat. They had to knock our teeth out and funnel this down our throat because they was going to make sure we worked. So we had to be forced to eat something that you're willingly going to pick up. And they changed it, the SH to a CH, from shitterlings to chitterlings. And you don't care because you're still going in to eat that feces. So you and I are still being enslaved. Slavery is maximum profit, minimum overhead. That is a capitalist dream. That is what capitalism is all about. The Holocaust is was done out of hate and spite. And that's why they tortured us day in, day out, and brutalized us and everything else they could think of. So we're not going to forget what they did. They're working overtime to cover up what they did to us. They're using different demons, putting them on the stand, telling us, don't go against our founding father, Jefferson and Washington, and those were all pedophiles, all murderers. America was built on debauchery, dehumanization, murder, blood, our sweat and our tears. And for that reason, that's why we have to go home, complete and total separation. We don't want nothing else to do with this place. Because these demons are telling you, our blood, sweat, tears, we built this place, it needs to be ours. No sir, no ma'am. Complete and total separation. They're going to receive their judgment. They already are. This plague is knocking them down so hard. They don't understand it. It's passing over African countries where there's black people, our people are at. They're lying to us about America. It's passing over us here. And knocking out the Egyptians, which are these European, Caucasian devils. And they are being judged, and their judgment is coming down on them so harsh because they were harsh with us. And that's why we are going to be going home, complete and total separation, to Arabia and the rest of Africa. We don't want this blood-soaked land. This land has to be burned up, nuked. They have wars upon wars coming to this land. We're going home to build our kingdom. And the biggest thing they did was force us to carry their black-faced devils. They raped us sisters. The rape was so incessant, so relentless and insistent that half of the blacks here in America are demons. It's 34 million of us. 17 million of us are original. The other 17 million are demons. And they're working hard to get that 17 million original to be demons as well. Because all they show you is interracial marriage, integrating, loving your enemies, and that's the biggest thing Farrakhan is telling you. Love these devils, procreate with them, be with them. And they want to completely wipe us out, brothers and sisters, but we're not letting it happen. The pressure of the truth of the angel is knocking down all lower pressure. And our enemy is a low pressure being. So we already know that this angel is completely taking out their reality. Welcome, sisters. Warrior queens. Us sisters have stood in the heat of battle for almost 500 years, brothers and sisters. No title. Haven't asked for anything. And have single-handedly carried this original nation through. How did we do it? We did it by ensuring that we procreated. We had to sneak and procreate with our original brothers to make sure that we had an original baby, because we were being raped so much by Massa that we were being forced to have his black-faced child. And we had to raise these devils, these demons. And if it was found out that we were having any kind of relations with an original brother, or an original brother was having any kind of relations with us, we were killed and made an example out of. So understand that the sisters, we have been working overtime to make sure that this nation survives. This original nation survives. Okay? And what they have done is tried to turn our maternal instincts away from us. Now, we know that mother, the Arabic word for mother is ummi, U-M-M-I, is the first nurse and the first teacher. Now, just think about that. First nurse and first teacher. That means that we are the first person that the brothers and the sisters come in contact with. Because we are your mothers. So we give birth to a brother, we give birth to a god, we give birth to a goddess. We are the first example of what your interaction with a sister is even supposed to be like. We are the first example of what a teacher is. We are the first example of true beauty. We are the first nurses for our brothers and our sisters. Sisters, we have always had an additional responsibility. We have had an additional responsibility of taking care of and guiding and raising this original nation, because the brothers are the strength and we are the beauty. We are both 180 degrees. 360 degrees is a full circle. And the brothers are responsible for securing us and protecting us. And even when they failed to do that, we did not fail on our part as far as giving birth and raising this original nation. And so, sisters, with our beauty, it's how we communicate knowledge and information to each other. And with us being the first nurse and the first teacher, we have to, and what we have been doing is teaching our children. One moment, brothers and sisters. So we set the standard, brothers and sisters. And that's what I'm trying to get at. That's what I'm explaining. We set the standard for our brothers and our sisters. You know, we have an additional responsibility because we're the first ones that you come in contact with from the moment of not conception, from the moment of birth. So, knowing this, that we're the first nurse, the first teacher, they have stripped us of our power by making us use our power against us, against ourselves. And they came in with their religion and did that. They really got through to the sisters. We are more inclined to be in the heart zone because of our maternal instincts, which is a protection for our babies, because that is what causes us to be alert to their every needs. When it comes to nurturing them, feeding them, changing diapers, keeping them clean, that nurturing aspect that the brothers don't have is a protection for us to take care of our babies. That mercy that we have, that maternal instinct, that patience that we have, and attention to details. All of that is part of our maternal instincts. And so when they put this religion on us, Christianity, which is put in place to completely terrorize us, you know, they gave us that while we were in chattel slavery, and told us that woman is the biggest sinner of everyone, and that the woman is the reason why the world is in so much trouble now. That's why it's pain with childbirth, and that's why men have to work hard labor. You know, they tell you this felonious story about Adam and Eve seduced Adam into eating this fruit, and, you know, both of them are in trouble for eternity. And that's a lie, brothers and sisters. And so religions all over the world condemn women. Why? Because they know that the women are the ones who's going to get the religion or the doctrine into the hearts of the children, or get it into the minds of the children, and the husband as well, and the father as well. And so they use this against us. They told us we're sinful, we are lustful. They told us that we are going to go to hell eternal damnation, if we didn't accept this religion in our hearts. And the sisters really took that. And what we did was we had to just, where we were at, we were energy deprivation, and we had lost knowledge of self. So we pushed the narrative unknowingly. We were programmed to self-destruct. That's what the whole purpose of the first 64 years was, from 1555 to 1619, to turn us into Negro bots, so that we could be programmed to self-destruct without asking any questions. So by the time they put this religion on us, we're not asking any questions. We're already programmed to self-destruct. At that point, we had so much fear embedded in us from conception, our mothers being brutalized, tortured, while pregnant. And then as soon as we were born, we were being even more tortured, terrorized, and brutalized as well. And so that fear, we're programmed to self-destruct without asking any questions, and we're scared as hell. You damn right we're going to do exactly what Master told us to do. Because in our minds, that would make sure that our babies didn't have it that hard as we did. In our minds, that said, okay, if I follow this religion and I save my baby from going to hell, not realizing that we were born into hell. Just from being in the Holocaust, we were already born into hell. And so they manipulated us, and they put this illusion on us. And it was for nothing more but to further terrorize us. Because if you got somebody's mind, you don't have to worry about them running away. You don't have to worry about them going against. You don't have to worry about them physically attacking you or going against you if you already have their mind hostage. And that's what they did with the religion. So they already was having us in shackles and chains physically, and then they put shackles and chains on our minds. And so then, the 1860s come around. The South could not compete with the North. So they changed it from agricultural slavery to industrial slavery. Okay, and as time goes on, we're still in the Holocaust. Remember, the time period from the Holocaust just ended in 2019. As time goes on, they start talking about women empowerment. Okay, and all this self-love and independence. You don't need no man. And from the moment we had been brought over here, we didn't have any man. Our man had been taken away from us. So then they lied and act like this women empowerment was for the original woman, and this was just another devil and demon scheme to take us further away from ourselves. So they told us, get up there and get naked. Empower yourselves. Be confident. You're strong. This is after already taking our clothes off of us in chattel slavery on the plantation in the agricultural aspect. Still the Holocaust. They made us walk around naked so that they can rape us whenever they wanted to. And it didn't matter what your situation was. It didn't matter what was taking place with your body. It didn't matter if you was pregnant. It didn't matter if you was sick. It didn't matter if you was a child. It didn't matter if you was an elderly sister. We were to walk around naked so that Massa and his overseers and demons could rape us whenever they felt like it. So, and they show you on the movies, if you come in there dressed up, they'll completely strip you down. And stripping us of our beauty. And so, we despise that treatment. Now, fast forward, you're in the 21st century now, and they're talking about self-empowerment and women's rights and body confidence. They put these demons up there every day, butt naked, shaking their behinds. Okay, telling you need to be confident. Love yourself. Empower yourself. Okay, confusing our original sisters. Got us walking around naked being completely disrespected by these devils, like we always have been. And our brothers don't have any respect for us either. And so, just like an animal has fur on it. You wouldn't shave the fur off of an animal. That is a inhumane treatment. So to take our clothes off of us and expose us and have us naked, and desensitizing our brothers. Our brothers are so used to seeing the sisters naked that it's desensitized them. And the thing about it is, our main attraction to each other, or our main interaction with each other, is procreation. We have a strong attraction to each other on an intimate level, and the main interaction between us is procreation. Now, we know how to discipline it by being married and expressing your urges with your husband or your wife. That's showing discipline. That's how we do it. However, the way that they have undressed us, and the brothers are desensitized, so it's nothing special to them because they see it all day, every day. And not only that, they taught the brothers were not allowed to have a woman, period, on the plantation. And so the interaction that they did get to have with a sister had to be under the instruction or watch or the approval of Massa. And they wasn't going to get that easily. They had to murder, kill somebody, or extreme strenuous work to be able to have 5 minutes with a sister. So that, on top of prancing us around naked, and now here we are in the 21st century where the brothers are told to sleep with several different women. It doesn't matter. Sleep around and disrespecting us and have us, we are already out here naked, so there is no reason in the brother's mind of why we should be respected, of why we should be cherished. And so the whole thing about it is, when the messenger came, the messenger, Muslim Girls Training, that's what he called the MGT, Muslim Girls in Training, and he had classes to teach us or to train us how to come back into our power, as far as teaching our children, being their first nurse, the first teacher, teaching, cooking the right foods for our families. Because remember, had the sisters up there, Massa, from us being on the plantation and being forced to eat shit, the sisters had once had to figure out how to make it taste somewhat decent. And by them feeding us out of troughs and not cooking these shitlings and feeding us like beasts and animals, and as time went on and we're still using this same slave diet, but adding hot sauce on it and adding other things to it, self-destructing without realizing it. Because that's what they tell you. My mama, she makes, I know chitlins is feces, but she know how to clean them up and make them real good. So a survival tactic that we had to figure out, how we was going to make it easier to go down. We don't understand how we were pushing exactly what Master told us to push without realizing it. And what the messenger did is he came back and started returning knowledge of self to us. He did that with the lessons. And the Muslim Girl Training Manual was one of them. And so he taught us how to cook meals for our husbands and our families. He gave us how to eat to live, got us off of the swine, and how to start cleaning up our diets. And then another thing is taught us how to cover ourselves up. And start taking our power back. However, the messenger still saw us as girls. He didn't see us as women. And, we were still to be submissive to the original man. However, with Solomon, the son of the man, coming on the scene, he is the 360 degrees. He is the scientist that has all 360 degrees. He represents justice, freedom, equality for all. Not just for the brothers, but for the sisters, everyone, and the children, everyone. And so with that, he had to give knowledge of self to us sisters and teach us how to take our power back so that we can have our justice, freedom, equality, because the brothers have to take their power back too. However, as explained, they have to do it through their strength. That's why they are on the front line of us being at war, and they're the ones who are getting us back home safely, clearing off our land safely, securing our pedestal. However, we are the ones that will put ourselves back up on the pedestal, sisters, because we need to understand that if someone puts you up on a pedestal, they can take you off. We're putting ourselves back up on the pedestal, and it's the brothers who will be securing our pedestal for us, okay, and standing by our side and making sure that we're always secured, that no hair on our head is touched, and that every nation will be kissing our feet. And so with the Son of Man coming here and giving the sisters knowledge of self, and we're going to go into that, the 5 fundamental mathematical pillars of Islam, breaking those 7 seals of the angel, which is Revelations, also known as the Apocalypse. He did that in 1991. The world has not been the same since. War after war, as the angel is coming into focus and getting us prepared to go home. Okay, and most recently with the Abrahamic covenant, the 400 years from 1619 to 2019. 2020 came in with a plague, just like Exodus told you it would. And so this is the time that the sisters are raising up and taking back our power. Because the scientist that has the 360 degrees is here on the scene, meaning that he's the totality of everything. All the books, all the wisdom, all the understanding. And so he get his sisters the understanding of how it is that we take our power back. And we do that through our beauty, because our beauty relays information. That it don't matter what I'm saying to you, brothers and sisters. If I'm sitting up here butt naked, you are not going to understand what I'm saying. Or even if I'm using extremely vulgar and derogatory language that's taken away from my beauty, you're still not going to understand what it is that I'm saying. So our beauty is what is even how we walk, talk, speak. You're getting information from every way that we present our beauty to you, brothers and sisters. So, brothers and sisters, or sisters specifically, we're going to talk about these 5 fundamental mathematical pillars, because this is how we take our power back. On top of us expressing our beauty in a disciplined way, this is how we do it. This is the 5 fundamental mathematical pillars of Islam is our very nature. We had to be taken off of this standard. And we didn't know any mathematics. Okay? And so these pillars is how we return our power back in our discipline. The first one is consequence. For every action, there is an opposite or equal reaction. This is also known as faith. Okay? Now, in religion, they take consequence away. They tell you that God is at the center of everything that happens in your life. Okay? And you're running around with that and you don't understand why things are going this way, things are going that way. One minute you have control, one minute it seems like you don't. And the thing is, you are the God that is in control of your reality, sisters. You are the goddess that is in control of your reality. So, for every action, there's an opposite or equal reaction. It can be positive, it can be pleasant or unpleasant. Once you start understanding how consequence works, now we can start critiquing or being mindful of how we do certain things. For instance, if you're walking around naked, the consequence of that is you're going to be treated as anyone else who's walking around naked. You're going to be disrespected. You are going to be put down just like these devils. And you could be put down by our brothers just like these devils have been putting us down. Because they were taught, the brothers had to be taught by these devils and the terror bots, the terrorizers, the demons, program administrators had to come in and keep us programmed as Negro bots. So they had to teach the brothers how to disrespect us, degrade us. And so with us walking around naked, the consequence of that is being degraded. Now, I know this is the case because, you know, I'm years ago when I was on campus in college and whatnot, and, you know, I'm have always been a modest sister. You know, that's our nature. We are modest by nature. And, you know, I'm on campus. They're telling me I dress like a, they're telling me I dress like a, what they say, like I'm going to a parent-teachers conference. Basically, I'm dressed like somebody's mother. And that was supposed to be their way of telling me that I'm not keeping up with the latest fashion statements or whatever. You know, let your, show some skin, let your legs out, let your stomach out, and, you know, empower yourself, self-empowerment. Be confident. You know, so I'm up there, more clothes I take off, I'm running around thinking I'm about to be empowered and confident, and I'm being disrespected like never before. You know, being called things I ain't never heard. And so that's the consequence of me disrobing. You know, and that's what they taught us. But we see the consequence of it, so we know it's not right. That's what I'm getting at. It don't matter what these devils and demons are telling you. You can see the consequence, sisters, and you know what the consequence is saying. So while they're telling you to get naked, you know, and we're running around naked, and then we're being degraded, that's a direct consequence. So get dressed and see how you are treated. See what kind of, see how we raise the thoughts of our brothers by putting on some clothes. Nothing but complete respect. Okay, and if you put a naked sister next to a sister that's has clothes on, and see which one is more beautiful. See which one looks better. See which one is truly beautiful. So, consequence. The next one is torque. Salats. This is another way we get our discipline. Slowly, precisely reciting the Quran. Every word of the Quran was spoken of by Allah Himself. Your voice is connected to your heart through the circulatory system. You can always tell the state of someone's heart by their voice. So with that being said, you can reverse that by using your voice to tone your heart and make it firm. So by you slowly reciting these words of the Quran, you are tuning and firming your heart. Our hearts have taken a beating. The past 466 years, nearly 500 years, our hearts have been taking all kinds of beatings from these devils and demons. And we have so much baggage. Okay, and they taught us, take drugs, take medications, go get a drink. Get you a psychiatrist or psychologist. Or go to Scientific Farrakhan, tell you, go to science. He's brought Scientology into the mosque. He's telling you to go get an audit where you tell your deepest, darkest secrets. And the moment you can't pay anymore, your business is being aired out. Salats takes away all of that, brothers and sisters. Okay, and you doing those salats daily firms your heart to where you can take on whatever is going on, because we're still in hell. We're still in hell until we go home. However, we have to learn how to get through hell. You cannot get through hell unless you are disciplined, sisters. And so these salats help us combat or dodge the bullets that is coming at us on a daily basis through the form of baggage, personal problems, feelings of depression, sadness, anger, okay, any impulse. And so that's why we do salats. That is torque. This is how we firm our hearts. Resonance. So another way of discipline for a sister is fasting. Now, it's not about how much you eat, sisters, it's about when you eat. So 1 meal a day. If you eat 2,000 calories a day, you eat that at one time. Now, this helps us maximize the amount of energy that we get every day. All of us get the same amount of energy a day. Okay, however, it's about what you do with it. And this fasting of eating 1 meal a day helps you maximize your energy for the day. Or you can do one big meal every 2 days or every 3 days, however you're going to do it. If you're supposed to eat 2,000 calories a day, you could do 6,000 calories every 3 days. Whatever works for you, sisters. However, this is another way of how we discipline ourselves and we maximize our energy so that we can use our energy productively. Now, another one, charity. This is another pillar, also known as zakat, which is pressure waves, currents. Charity, if you have more, we give to those who have less. Very simple. We do this naturally, not even realizing it. Because we don't want to have more than our share. That brings us bad luck. So if you have more of anything, then you give to the one who has less. Okay, and just from my perspective, I do it without expecting anything in return. You know, it's genuine. Because I truly enjoy helping my sisters out. You know, we're supposed to want for our sisters what we want for ourselves. So we give. And another way we do that is with our babies. Like I said, sisters, we're doing this naturally, don't even realize it. We give our bodies to our children through the time of conception and carrying them for that 9 months. And then we give our bodies to our children again as we breastfeed them. And we make all kinds of sacrifices. And we withhold ourselves from indulging in all kinds of things while we're pregnant and breastfeeding, and all kinds of foods and different activities and whatnot to make a sacrifice for our babies. And then not only that, we teach our babies. Again, first nurse, first teacher. We're the first ones to teach our babies everything they need to know. From how to clean themselves, how to learn, how to speak, how to walk, how to dress, how to eat, how to cook, how to interact with others. We are constantly teaching our children. They are constantly observing us. As a matter of fact, the way that they know how to interact with their fathers is by how we interact with their fathers. How we interact with our husbands. And that's how they learn how to interact with daddy. So, sisters, we are a constant example. We set the standard for all of our people. Okay, so Hajj, that's the last one, harmonic motion. No conflict. Me explaining this information to you, you explain this information to me, us being on the same page, that's Hajj. That's harmonic motion, sisters. No conflict whatsoever. And as we can see, the world is filled with conflict. So this American dream can't possibly be it. It's nothing but conflict, and we are a peaceful people. There's no way that we can ever have any type of peace here. You know, so that's just to make sure that you're not thinking that you can have anything here in America like Farrakhan is telling you. This discipline that we are receiving or taking back our discipline. We're taking back our power, which is discipline is just another word for righteousness. This is how we're going to build our kingdom when we get back home. This is how we're going to build our own personal paradise, because each of our paradise is different. Each of our dreams are different. However, we all are coming from the same base of being disciplined. So no matter what reality you or I create, it's going to be righteous, because we have gained this discipline before we go back home. So we left home discipline. We're going back home discipline, sisters. And this is how we take our power back. And this is how we get back up on our pedestal. Like I said, the brothers have to secure our pedestal. They're going to clear off our land, put us back in our home, get all of our enemies away from us. And we're going to be the ones to put ourselves on the pedestal and stay there. So, we're transforming energy from one form to the next, sisters. We have been disciplined this whole time. However, we didn't have any wisdom with it. So we're disciplined with go to the church every Sunday, Wednesday and Friday, Bible study classes or whatnot. We're disciplined getting them babies up every day for school. Every couple of months we're buying your school clothes, ironing them, getting them ready. And, we got the set meals we do, Christmas dinner, Easter dinner, Thanksgiving dinner. We got pictures we do certain times a year. And we have these biblical principles that we telling ourselves we're teaching to our babies. We've had the discipline all along. We dealing with massa, next door neighbors and massa. You got to keep a respectful persona and, just like we did on the plantation. You always had to smile around massa and be pleasant no matter what kind of pain you was in, no matter what your thoughts were. You had to be disciplined about it. Just like they still making us do in the industrial plantation. You come on that job, you can't tell that overseer, that manager how you really feel. You got to be disciplined. Okay, so we have the discipline, sisters. However, we have been using it in the wrong direction. And so, transforming energy from one form to the next. We're just transforming the energy from the discipline that we've been putting into this American dream. We're transferring it over to the discipline that we're putting into the vision of the angel and the Abrahamic covenant and us returning home. We had the discipline the whole time. We're just using it for the wrong thing. So, sisters, let's take our power back. I will be back with more. Thank you for having me. Assalamu alaikum.